Hey YouTube, welcome back everybody. Hey, we're gonna make a quick one on this here again tonight. We're doing our best to get it knocked out. We're gonna get our main bearings apart, take these screws out, because, well, that first video, if you guys looked at it, this in here had, you know, this screw and double nuts holding it in, and it stuck out like a sore thumb. So we'll go ahead and get these apart. This silly thing keeps rolling away from me. We'll put him out of the road. So let me get this here apart, and we'll get our rod off and get our crank out of here. We'll put our studs in. We made little studs and we got nuts for it, so we'll put them in there. We'll nut this down, and then yeah, give me a second, guys. I'll bring you right back. Okay, well, we got our main caps off, both sides. We took our connecting rod apart. This was the special bolt that we had to make. So let's pick this up, and we're just going to swing it up and over and out of the way. Now we have access to these. They're both tight to the base. So we're going to go ahead and put studs in here, and then we will hold our caps down with these nuts. So let me get those in. I'll show you guys what it looks like here in a second. Okay, well, we got our studs in here. We're going to go ahead and double nut these, and then I'll run them down. And then we're going to see what we got for clearance on our main caps with our crank. So I guess I kind of took for granted that you guys understood what I meant when I said I'm going to double nut this. So it's terribly out of focus. When I say double nut it, is you run one down, and then you run the top nut down on top of it. And then if you lock both of these nuts together, they can't go anywhere. So that stud has no choice but to go down. So I'll try to keep my hand out of the way and show you guys. So we've got them locked together. So now by turning that top nut, you can see that stud there. Now we've ran it all the way down. So then we'll hold this bottom nut and loosen the top one, and they'll both run off the top. And then we don't mar up our threads. So, okay, with that said, let me get the other two in. This one's in, this one's in. We'll get these two back here in. Give me a little bit. Okay, well, we got all four of our studs run down. Let's get these screws out of here. See how well the machining was done on them. It drops down on there. Just, I mean, it was like it was made for it. That's good. We'll get the ones out of this side over here. We'll see if this one also fits. Well, there. Look at that, guys. Now we got studs in here, and we can run nuts down on top of it. And so, yeah, let me get that crank thrown back down in here. We're going to check this out. And, well, we'll probably run this again. Give me just a second. We'll get this all bolted back together. We'll see what it sounds like after we know that we've got this addressed. I'll show you guys down here. These are all of the parts that we've replaced so far. And, well, not proud to say it, but these are our failed attempts at making parts. So, I guess when you got 3 failures when you're making this many parts, I guess we're still doing pretty decent. So, all right, enough talking. Let me get this put back together, And unfortunately, we're going to have to take all these new parts back off and use Boatbeard's method to age it. So everything ends up looking like this and it all matches. So, all right, let me get this crank put back in. Well, we've got our crank set back in there. Let me fight through putting these little nuts on here. And when I say small, guys, I mean this thing is just almost too small for me. But we're going to get through it. We'll put it back together. We're going to see it run again. So sit tight. Let me get these started back on. Okay, we got our nuts run down on our main bearings. Turns over nice and smooth. We don't have any more slop in our crank. We're going to get that bolt that we made. And we turned this out of just a piece of hex brass. Turned a shoulder on it and then threaded that. And let's make sure it all still fits. Well, there we go, guys. It's back together, and I think all of our repairs and machine work are done. Move you guys up so you can see what we're doing. There, now that you guys can see what we're doing, this is all back together. These are addressed down here. All of our linkage has been fixed, and I don't hear it knocking anymore just by turning it over. I mean, it feels silky smooth. So, all right, well, let me get that temporary pipe hook back up, and we'll run some air to it. I'll pull you guys back, and we can see how slow we can make it run tonight. Okay, well, I guess before we fire this up, let's go ahead and oil it up again, just to be sure, be safe. And, well, I guess, in all honesty, guys, this is a new engine, you know, in an old skin. So we are going to have to break it back in. We've got a lot of new moving parts on here. So, all right, well, let's get this hooked up. Alright. Shut our supply valve. I'll go ahead and open the regulator down here on the compressor. And we'll start off at about 10 pounds. And then we'll run it back from there. So let me get some air to it. It might be hard to keep you guys in focus here, but right now we're showing right at 10 pounds on our gauge. So let's open this. It is running. We're right at 10 pounds. Let's back that off. There's 8 pounds. Let's open this up. Still at 8 pounds. There's 5. 4. That's 3 pounds. Bring it in so you guys can watch it run. Looks like our pressure has dropped to 2.5 pounds. Go ahead and drop that down a little bit more. Ah, that was 2 pounds. I guess we need to run it a little bit more. It really wants to go, but like I said, we got to break it back in. So, dag on it. Well, 2 pounds is too much to ask for it tonight. So, let's give it a little bit more. We'll bump it back up to 4, and we'll sit here and let it run for a little while. Well, there we go, guys. I don't know if you guys can see it. That's reading 2 pounds. So we'll let this sit here and run, break in. Hey, I wanted to let you guys all know, thank you so very, very much for watching, sharing, and subscribing. You guys are fantastic. I couldn't ask for a better, you know, a group of guys and gals that watch these. You guys leave great comments. Hopefully we're all learning a little bit from one another. But let me know what you guys think we ought to do with this here when we're done. Get it all degreased and tell me what color you think we ought to paint it. Just kidding. In the next one, we're going to make another sub base for this with little stanchions. So we got clearance for our flywheel. We'll make a base for it, and you guys can appreciate our atrocious woodworking skills once again. So let's let this sit here and run, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks again.